Good evening, everybody. This is Lily Blessings with Color Wheel Rebel. A member of my art group is loving the Mardi Gras colors since Mardi Gras is coming up, and I said I'll give it a try. So with further ado, I have a 12 by 12 canvas. It's a gallery wrapped, thick-sided, and I've got a 9-ounce cup. I have my colors mixed up. The gold is Cleopatra by Deco, and it is mixed one bottle to 5 ounces of Floetrol. I have my black, which is Master's Touch Permanent Black, and it is mixed, I think it's mixed about 1 to 6. As you can see, it runs off and it makes a mound on a mound but then disappears. I have my white, which is the Master's Touch Premium Titanium White. Once again, runs right off, mound on a mound, but then disappears. And my white is mixed 1 part white to, I added 1 part of the Liquitex Basics Iridescent Medium to give it a little bit of shine, a little bit of brilliance to it. It also has a tablespoon of my white acrylic base in here, and then the rest is Floetrol. And these are little 6-ounce cups. Then I have my green. Now my green is made and put in my bottles. It is the Master Touch Premium. It is the blue and the yellow to make the secondary green on the color wheel. Then I lightened it just a little bit because I wanted it more of a little bit of a grass green or a spring green. It also has 1 part of the iridescent medium added to it, and the rest is Floetrol. And it is also mixed at 1 part paint to about 4 or 5 parts. This one's looking a little thick, so I'm gonna have to thin that one down a little bit. Then I have Waverly Superior or Super Premium paint, and this is a liquid, almost a liquid paint, not quite. So it is mixed 1 bottle of the paint to 2 of Floetrol, and then I also added 1 part iridescent medium to this as well because I wanted to give it that shimmer and shine. It is also running a little bit thick tonight, so I'm going to have to thin it down just a little bit. And this is the color Iris. Add your water a little bit at a time. I normally don't add water at all, but I'm running low on my Floetrol. Make sure you stir it in real good. You don't want it to separate in your paint. Okay, let's see how that is. Oh, there we go. Mound on a mound and then disappear. Let's see if I can still stick my stick up in it. Yep, it still stands and then slowly starts to come over. So that's about the consistency that I want. And that same for that green, was just a little bit thick. So I apologize for my messy table. I am trying to protect the paint drippings, the skins from my pour yesterday. So I found this old serving tray from summers gone by, in this bright orange and yellow psychedelic you know, Hawaiian print. It's cracked up, and but it is perfect. I've got the little 2-ounce cups taped to the bottom of it so that they won't shift, and then I've got it situated over some areas where I don't have little paint puddles so that it can be lifted. There we go. We've got tiny little remnant there, little layer and layer, and then it disappears. That's really good consistency there for me. Okay, my trusty paper towel. Now, I debated on what I was going to do here, and then I finally decided that I am going to just do one pour. I thought about doing 2 pours and trying to kind of make it look like a mask, a Mardi Gras mask. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a single straight pour and see what I come up with. So I'm gonna put just actually, I think I'm gonna put the gold right down the middle. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit of gold right down in the middle. Now gold takes over, so make sure that you, and then I'm going to actually run some black down my sides instead of right on top. There we go. And just a tiny little bit here. There we go, for some definition there. Okay. Now, where do we want to go with this? Let's start with the purple. Purple. A little bit of white. Green. Gold. Purple. Come back in with a little bit of black. Green. Gold. Purple. Green. Gold. Okay, put a puddle of black in the middle. Now I have taped off the back of my canvas. Keep it nice and neat. Okay, here we go. Start high, mix your colors, come down. Looks like I might not be quite level there. I thought I was. Looks like I'm getting a little bit of muddiness in there. Oh, I was really hoping I wouldn't do that, but let's see what we get. Catch your drip. Okay. Well, definitely have some Mardi Gras colors there, and I have plenty of paint on my canvas, so I'm definitely gonna run a lot of that off. Okay, let's give it a quick torch. Pop any bubbles. Some of these paints have been mixed up for about 48 hours, and a couple of them have been mixed up for about 12 hours. And then my white I had to mix up this evening because I was out of my white. So okay, well, it looks like it wants to go that way, so let's go ahead and take it to that corner first. And bring it back to center. Let's go to the other corner, lock it a little bit, stretch that paint out. Back to center. Come to this corner. And down to the other corner. Now normally I would have poured a ring around so that my paint had something to move over, but I had plenty of paint on this little canvas. So, okay, kind of bring it back to center. Okay, now let's decide what we like and don't like. Really loving this over here. Over here's nice too. Really muddy down in here. I like this area too. So I'm going to torch, and then I'm going to see about taking this corner off over here if I don't get a bunch of beautiful gold cells to pop up. So get some of the paint off my hands first. it's not bringing up a bunch of cells, but it certainly is popping a few little bubbles that I have in there. So we'll call that good. Okay, I really like the majority of this, but this corner down here I'm just not very happy with. So I'm going to give it a little turn so I can pay closer attention to what I'm doing down here. And I will give this a walk. Okay, like that. Bring it back down. Okay. Okay. Well, let me get these gloves off here and take a look at this a little bit better. Okay, guys, let's see what we got here. Oh, I don't know if you can see it, but I have a bird here in the center. I'm really liking that. I think I may take his golden wings and take them, hopefully we can make this work. Okay, make sure you wipe your sides, and that paint that comes off your sides you can use to dribble down your corners. Make sure you got nice coverage on your corners and your sides. If you don't wipe the excess paint that's dripping off of the bottom of your canvas, you stand a chance of it pulling your composition down right off of your edges, which you don't want to do. I know you don't. So take that extra time. Gather up that paint off those bottom edges. See if I can give this a turn and look at the other side without messing up my skins. Such pretty skins down here. Good, they're pretty protected. Yay! Okay. One more corner over here. Okay. Let me give it one last torch. Well, it looks like my bird is disappearing, which is fine. Still interesting. Okay. So here's my Mardi Gras pour. My greens and purples and golds, and the black took over. So, lesson learned, not quite so much black. I think it's cool. And maybe I'll try another one, maybe tomorrow, without quite so much black. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like, subscribe, and hit that little bell so you'll get notifications of when I do my next pours or my next art. I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Lily Blessings with Color Wheel Rebel. Welcome back. I only thought I was done, so I tried a tree ring pour with a lip, and I still wasn't happy. Didn't even stretch it. So I started a brand new cup. It just has Mardi Gras colors in it, the purple, green, and gold. Minimal white. Doing a straight pour here, getting some beautiful wing effects. I'm going to start a slow wiggle, and I'm going to slowly move it towards the bottom of that ring there. I'm creating a spine effect. It's something that I learned a couple of weeks ago by accident, and I really do love it. Kind of making the shaft of a feather here by doing that. I'm going to reach the end of my paint. I'm going to reach in, grab that drip so it doesn't go into my composition. I'm going to slowly start moving the paint around my canvas. Stretching that paint out, opening up that composition. Gonna head up towards that right corner, catch that paint and pull it back. Really start to open up those rings. Can really see the definition between those colors. Take the paint back to center. Now to the bottom right, catch that corner, stretch, back to center, upper left-hand corner, catch that paint. Now I'm not going back to center this time because I know I want to stretch that paint, get some of that bright purple off that one corner so it doesn't take over. Take a look at it. Decide I'm going to take some of the composition back to the center. Take a good look at it. Take some of that paint, dripping off the bottom of that canvas off. Get that extra weight off. Don't want it pulling my composition off now that I'm happy with it. As I look at this, I'm very happy with it. The colors are great. I've got some cell activity. I love that spine effect. Kind of like the edges of a butterfly wing. I love the overall look. It looks a lot like feathers. And there are a lot of feathers down in New Orleans. I have not gotten to go to Mardi Gras yet, but I have made it to New Orleans. Got to check that off my bucket list. Really enjoyed my time there. Got to be there for 3 or 4 days earlier last spring. So I'm going to torch this, and then I'm going to bring you in for some close-ups. So I'm going to put on some music for you for the end of this, and I certainly hope you've enjoyed this. Don't be afraid to pour over something you've already poured. If you don't like it, by all means, pour again. Scrape it off if you want to, but you don't have to. You see that, the weight of the paint was able to move around on top of the paint that I already had there. So please enjoy yourselves, and come join me for pouring in the future. Hope to see you soon.